Welcome to one more episode of Success and Connection. I'm here with Luz Ramirez. How are you doing here?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, yay, we are here in Monterey, enjoying this amazing time with these amazing people of the community of Base Morby.
Yes.
And Jamil Damji.
Yes.
That's fabulous. I'm so excited. And I'm here with you. It's even better.
Yes, it's absolutely a wonderful time here.
Yeah. I have been talking to you about what you do best, right? You help investors or anybody that needs grant and also like with fractional integrator.
Correct.
Okay, but I will let you to tell me more about what you do and how can you serve the community and others out there.
Okay, wonderful. So I am a strategic integrator by nature. I have been doing this for many, many years. I worked in the education field for 16 years, and then I moved into the nonprofit world, and I was there for another, 14 years, I believe. And over all that time, I've been working in administration, management, supervision. And over that time, what I discovered is that I'm really good at setting really high expectations, looking into the future and being very strategic about what we're going to do, and then putting everything into motion. So with everyone I have worked with, it has been looking at whatever gaps exist and analyzing how we can improve, what we need to put in place to be able to accomplish bigger goals and accomplish what we're trying to achieve. So a lot of that comes down to analyzing what you have in place, determining what's working, what's not working, eliminating what's not working or repurposing it, and then putting in place whatever you need in order to affect the change that you're looking for and to accomplish the goals that you're shooting for. So I know it sounds like a lot of words, but systems and processes is basically the what I'm always working on, developing the systems that we need to put in place. What are those processes to make sure that everything is working effectively and efficiently? The grant writing came into place because in the education world and the nonprofit world, one of the ways that you can create programming and services is by securing grants. And so I'm a very detail-oriented person. I like detail. I like research. And so for me, grant writing is just kind of a second nature thing. I'm very good at finding. I seek, I look, I find, and connecting. And then the other part of it is that I'm also a high visionary, so I like to create. So what I was able to do is marry the two together. So I can create programming and services that are needed, and then I'm able to write for them and then secure the grants that we need to be able to put those programs in place. So it's a little bit of what I've done over the years.
So how do you do that? Because as a visionary and fractional integrator, talk to me about that.
So I was a visionary first when I was the executive director of a nonprofit. And I was in charge of making sure that everything was, that I was creating programming and services for the agency, but I didn't have the time to do. I like to be the person who has my hands in there and creating and making things happen. So what I discovered was that I don't love being the number one CEO visionary. I like to be the number two, maybe the chief administrative officer or the strategic integrator who's making things happen. So I love to take a vision and I love to put it into place. And so that's where I found myself then figuring out, okay, we have these gaps here, here, and here. So I need to create this type of service or programming. And so then I would figure out, okay, how am I going to create this service or programming? And now I need to find the funding. So I would go look for the funding to then be able to do it. So I love to be the one that implements and gets things done. Okay. I leave the vision to somebody else. I do it as well, but I prefer to make it happen. So that's how I do that.
That's fantastic. So I love the fact that you are expert in getting grant. And there's a lot of people there, they have no idea they qualify for it, and they have no idea how to get it. First, they don't know they can. And second, how do I do that? So can you give us a little bit idea of what kind of grants are there available and what's the average Joe can just go ahead and seek and apply and get?
So there are grants pretty much for everything.
Really?
It's a matter of searching. So you have to figure out what is your niche, what is your area of interest, what is it you're looking for. Then you have to find out who has an interest in the same thing that you have an interest in. So for example, let's say that you're interested in fitness and your target population is helping children who are obese. Then you have to find the organizations or the companies or the corporations that are interested in funding that type of service, that they have a passion for helping obese children. And then those corporations would probably have some kind of funding that they grant to this type of service or this type of situation. So it's a matter of matchmaking. So that really is what it is. So you have your need and what you want to do and what you want to offer.
Yep.
And then you have to find who's willing to give the money to do that. So it's as simple as an investor. So you have an investor who doesn't want to do the work. They just want to put the money into an investment and then watch their money grow. It's the same thing. There are corporations and businesses that want to make an impact in that area, but they don't want to do it themselves. So they're going to give the money for it. It's the same thing. So it's matchmaking.
This is brilliant. I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of people go out there and they think that they have to go to the government ask for the grant.
They do not.
It's not.
No. There is a lot of funding that comes from the federal government.
Yeah.
They are larger grants. They are usually awarded maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 10 are awarded nationwide. Mm-hmm. But what I like to do is I like to see, okay, who is the federal government giving the awards to? And then once they give out that money, then I want to see those organizations and those businesses who are receiving that money and how are they giving that money out? Because then I can go and apply with those organizations. They receive the federal money, but they're going to also pass it on to different groups and organizations. And so that's how I get the funding.
You have a superpower, girl. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. So you go out there and figure out who's going to get the money. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, these people, this organization receiving the money, they have to deploy the money.
Yes, absolutely.
And you know that. Mm-hmm. So then you go there with your application, say,
exactly,
give me the money.
Exactly. I find out how they're going to deploy their funds or who they're going to deploy them for. I already know what the area is that they need to deploy it for. And then I need to see if I qualify. And so that's, again, it goes back to the matchmaking. I have to see the organization or business or group that wants to apply for the funding, how do they qualify? Do they have the correct status? Do they need a 501c3? Can they be a business? Maybe they can collaborate with a 501c3. So we just have to explore and look at, okay, how are you eligible? And if you're not eligible, how do we make you eligible? Or how do we find you the right partner to be eligible for that funding?
Okay, I love that. So what do you mean? What do you call about be eligible?
Eligible. So for example, I'll use a very simple example. If you are in a state might require you to be a nonprofit. Okay, so that's one eligibility. The other one might be you have to be registered with the state in order to apply for a grant through the state. Okay, that's another qualification. Third qualification could be that you have to sign up for a specific number through a specific department. So that could be the third eligibility. Okay, so as somebody coming to apply for this specific grant, they say these are the 3 eligibility requirements that you have to meet. And then I go through my list and I say, yep, I have that, I have that, I have that. I'm eligible to apply. Or if, let's say, I am not a 501c3, which is a nonprofit status, a charitable status, but I do qualify for the other 2, what I have to see is, okay, can I collaborate with somebody who has 501c3 status? And then we go in as a partnership or collaboration and apply together. Is that a qualifier? And then I look at the application, and then the application says you can actually enter with somebody else as a collaboration. Now I've marked the 3rd checkbox, and I am eligible. So it's a matter of, again, checking the list, making sure that whoever wants to apply is eligible, and what do they have to mark off in order to be eligible.
Oh my gosh. So you know so much. How long have you been doing this?
I started writing grants in early 2000s. And again, it's only been part of the work that I've done. So as a result of the work that I've done, that was a way for me to be able to get funding. And so I started doing it. And so little by little, I've improved my art, the form of applying. And now it's become a second nature thing. At the end there, I was not applying for a lot of grants. I had decided, okay, we've got enough funding for this program. We got enough funding for this program. If I didn't need it, I wouldn't apply for it. And then I started getting calls from organizations that wanted to give me the funding, and they would ask me to apply for the grants.
Yep.
And they said, well, you are in an area where we need to send the money, so please apply so we can give you the money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll apply. If you're telling me that you want me to apply, that means they'll give me the money. So, yeah.
After that, I believe they don't ever have to ask again, right?
Exactly.
You're right there.
Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So that's fantastic because with grants, you can help. You can use the money to help other people. But as a collateral, you also can save in taxes. I understand that the organization, the foundation, they don't pay taxes. But I heard that the owner of the foundation, they also have some benefits. Can you explain that, please?
So it kind of comes down to, I'm not really familiar with, I don't have a foundation. So that would be something that I would have to say, you'd have to get that information from somebody who has a foundation experience or an attorney with experience in running a foundation.
Taxes.
But there are benefits to having a foundation and donating from a foundation to an organization or granting money out. So there's definitely a benefit for it. So personally, my goal is to make enough money through my investing where then I open my own foundation so that I can then use those funds to help support the causes that I'm interested in, because there are definite tax benefits to it. I just can't go into detail because I don't know all the ins and outs. I know that it's a benefit. I just don't know all the details.
No problem. So awesome. Thanks so much for sharing that. Absolutely. Okay, so you are fractional
strategic integrator. Yes.
And also you are expert in grant. And if somebody wants grant, how they find you and what they have to bring it to you. So, and tell to the camera.
Oh, absolutely. So you can find me at luzramirez.net. That is my webpage, LUZRAMIREZ.net, N-E-T. I have all my information on there. There is a link on there so you can actually book a consultation with me. I will usually do a consultation first, and there is a form that I ask you to complete. I get more information about your organization, your business, or your company. That way I know how prepared you are to apply for grants. But then I also have additional questions on there where you can tell me what exactly it is that you are interested in getting from me, the time that we spend together, so I can prepare for it beforehand. And then I can give you what it is that you need and you're looking for. So absolutely.
Absolutely. So what about real estate? What do you do in real estate?
So my husband and I have a portfolio. We do buy and hold. So we have single family homes and duplexes, and we're looking to buy multifamilies. Right now, we invest in my area where I live, which is Rockford, Illinois. I am partnered with a couple other people within the community, within Owners Club, and we are investing in co-living spaces in Florida. And then another group, we are investing in land and new development. So I've got a few projects going on.
That's amazing. Why not co-living in Chicago?
So you live in Illinois.
I am.
And Illinois is not a landlord-friendly state is the first reason. The second is in my area, co-living is not something that is quite yet approved or a trend, or they're not really familiar with it. So I try to stay closer to home because my husband does our property management. If I started to move into the Chicago area, now that's a little bit farther for me. It is an hour and a half, but traffic, it could be 2 hours, it could be 3 hours. So we try to be close and near our tenants in case something does come up with one of our properties. So we just like to be boots on the ground.
It's very interesting that you are complaining about drive 1.5 hours and you have properties in Florida. How does that work?
I have a partner in Florida, and my partner in Florida is boots on the ground. And so she's able to be that person that goes to the property whenever needed.
You can do the same in Illinois.
Yeah, you're right. So if you're looking for a partnership, 100%.
Absolutely, because I got to Illinois like 15 months ago. I'm brand new, so I have to start buying properties there. So
yeah. Let's do it.
Of course. I love it. Fabulous. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much, Luz. It's an inspiration. Amazing. Of course, you are in my books. You don't know yet, but you're in my books for July. Get that grant consultation.
Wonderful.
Because that's the next step.
Thank you, Eva.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure speaking with you.
Pleasure.